All right. Good evening, everyone. Gonna be working on some illustrations of some matchbooks today. So my dad found a box of matchbooks in his closet when he was cleaning out from all of his travels, early in his work life. And I pulled out all of the local ones, and I figured I'd do those too, but I have a bunch more from all over Canada, and depending on how I enjoy making these, I might do more, but for now I figured I'd do some local ones, so this is sort of a handful of the St. Catharines ones, so really liked the designs on these ones, so going to start doing some illustrations of them, and hopefully we'll get a couple done today. Love that Lancer one. But we're going to start with the Billingsgate Fish Market. So what I want to do is I want to sort of make it look like these are open, so that we can see the matches inside. I want to try and get as much of the entire design as possible. So I want to get the top, I want to get the inside and show the matches a little bit. So I mean, the perspective of this might not be perfect, but artistic interpretation, I guess. I'm gonna do a bit of like an isometric almost kind of design. Okay. For this, we'll come straight down, out, up a little bit. So the cool thing, I mean, matchbooks must have been much more commonplace in an older time, but I don't know, I just like it. It's this sort of like cultural remnant type thing. A lot of these are for restaurants in St. Catharines or Niagara that no longer exist. So it's neat. I guess this Billingsgate Fish Market is a chain. There's still some elsewhere, but the one in St. Catharines does not exist anymore. Supposedly St. Paul Street at the corner of William Street, which would have been like right across from the old Standard. I'm assuming right beside the Mansion House in St. Catharines. Anyways, so inside of here, we've got some white matches. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 across. Blend options. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Blend options. Should be 9 lines. And then I'm going to expand that because most of these will be hidden behind flaps. So yeah, this is sort of like an experiment as to, like, can I take something kind of mundane and do it, illustrate it, make it look half decent. These we are going to use effect, distort, roughen, smooth. I wish the menus would show up if I was showing the window. I don't know how to make that happen, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Just kind of want those to be kind of a little jagged. Okay. And then we will so then each match head is kind of like this, a little fatter at the top. And add a little bit of depth to this. Want that to connect to the side there, so do that. Bring this down. Connect there. Okay. There's 2 rows of matches. Add ungroup that. Add a second one behind. Kind of bent back a little bit. Don't want this to look exactly the same. Okay. And we will bring this down all the way. Okay, so that's the basic matchbook design. So let's start working on the actual design itself, or the picture on it. So, well, this we can do just with text. looks sort of like a Garamond, maybe? Yeah, Garamond. Gold. Yeah. It's pretty close. Corner of William Street. Oh, and I gotta make sure that I have the staple in there too. Okay, so this... So that's the right kind of design, the right font. I have made this a little too wide. And this might need to come up a little higher too. Just trying to make this look as pretty as I can. Keep the lines from overlapping too much, because that'll help me once I get to the live paint portion. Okay. That looks to be the right size, so now we gotta skew this. So object, transform, or shear, excuse me. And St. Paul Street, corner of William Street. Okay. Have our little staple here. Kind of askew a little bit. Object, expand, fill and stroke. That's where our staple will be. Maybe just bring this down a little bit to make it look like it's actually going in. There we go. Okay, so the top of the... Where did I put it? There it is. The top is St. Catherine's. The nice thing is all of these fonts appear to be the same, so that's good. So St. Catherine's. You know this is old because the phone number is 416 682 266 2. It's centered. Line spacing's pretty tight. Okay. And again, what's this angle? 148 degrees. Object, transform, shear, 148. You know what, I think I need to make it a little bit more than that even. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see here. Here's my pitch. Oh wait. Object, transform, shear. Object, transform, shear. 148. Okay. I'm even gonna go a little more than that. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go a little less, and then when I shrink it, it'll increase the. There we go. Okay. Alright, and now let's start working on this little design here. Oh, and then the one thing... all of these have a little phrase underneath them that's hidden once they're... I'm trying to get as much of the actual... of what is actually on the matchbook on here. So the... tucked away when it's actually closed, you don't see this, but when it's open, you see this phrase, close, cover, before striking. And this is a sans serif. So let's do... that looks pretty close. Okay. And then what is this angle? 108. Object, transform, shear, 108. Whoa. Whoa. No, not shear. Wait. Yeah. What is happening? Alright, let's just say that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, 5 people are here. Well, hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Oh no, 2 people are here. 5 people total. Well, hello to the 2 people who are here. It is nice of you to drop in. I'm working on some matchbooks. My dad had collected matchbooks early in his career from all over Niagara, all over Winnipeg, all over Canada, and I liked them a lot, so I want to do some illustrations of them. So I'm doing the local ones because I figure those are interesting, because it's kind of like the forgotten St. Catharines, because a lot of these, the majority of these places no longer exist. Okay, so let's start making this design. Let's bring in my rulers first. Use that as a baseline. Okay. Hi, Johnny. I'm making some matchbooks. I don't know whether you heard the description earlier. Okay. Yeah, I liked the idea. Hi, Aaron. Johnny, Aaron, thank you for joining. I liked the idea of doing these matchbooks because they're like, when these were collected, I'm sure they were very common. You could get them basically anywhere, and like judging by the amount that I have from different places, it seems like just about anywhere had matchbooks that you could buy or you could get. And yeah, they're just cool. I like them. So might as well draw it, you know? Okay. Yeah, this one is for Billingsgate Fish Market, which, judging by the address, 1 St. Paul, would have been, I guess, it says at the corner of William Street, so I guess that would be like right across from the old Standard building, right beside Mansion House. As far as I know, there is no longer a fish bar, oyster place there anymore, considering it seems like that entire building is just boarded up. So how's everybody doing tonight? Hope you all had an enjoyable day. I know I did. Slept in, which was nice. I also just love trying to reproduce something. It's interesting to try and recreate something that already exists. Okay. So, this box of matchbooks that my dad had, so many cool ones in there. Lots of hotels. You have to travel quite a bit. A lot from Winnipeg, because that's where he grew up. And did his undergraduate. Such a cool little logo. I noodled around with music and ate pizza. Aaron was there too. Their Billingsdale menu from the 80s on eBay for 45 bucks. I googled to see if this, I was almost certain this place no longer existed in St. Catharines, and I was right, but yeah, I did see that. That's pretty funny. Okay. These need to be wider. Yeah, I guess it's a chain. But I wish there was an oyster bar I could go to. I guess I could go to Blue Mermaid, which coincidentally is one of the other matchbooks that I have here that I will be doing. Maybe tonight, maybe another time. I'm gonna do just like a handful of these and like make it into a poster. I feel like that would be fun. A fun thing to have. Okay. So we've got the word restaurant on a little placard here. This goes there. My favorite one is from a place in Winnipeg and the matchbook is pretty simple on the front, but on the back is an illustration of like a butcher. I gotta find it. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So it's Manitoba sausage, it says on the top, and then on the back is a picture of a sausage maker, and then it says little old sausage maker on it, and he's like tipping his hat, and it's amazing. But I'm holding off on that one, even though that one is my favorite. I wanted to do the St. Catharines ones first, so. Alrighty. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm retracing over angles I've already set so that I can reuse there, so that I know that everything's gonna line up nicely at nice angles. Okay. Copy that. And this doesn't go all the way. And then goes up like that. This goes over here. And we've got arc like that. Don't think this is as tall as I made it, nor is it as angled. Okay. Come over here. And this. Okay, so then kind of this. Here. Same over here. Yesterday night, I watched Invasion USA, which is a Chuck Norris movie from the Cannon Film Group. Cannon made a bunch of schlocky 80s action movies, many with Chuck Norris. They also made Death Wish and with Charles Bronson, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I think this needs to come a little further down. It was really funny as an action movie because, like, and now I understand, like, I know I know Chuck Norris was an action star and whatever, so like the Chuck Norris jokes were like, he's so strong, but it's like in watching that movie, at no point is he ever in danger. He's just so, he's perfect. Like he's so in control and so cold and like emotionless through the entire thing, and every situation he's in, he just easily gets out of and destroys everyone. Like at the end, spoiler alert for this movie that came out in the early 80s, like he finally gets to the big bad guy, and he literally just shoots him, and then he flies out a window, and like that's the end of the movie. Like, there's no dramatic tension at all. Okay. But yes, highly recommend it. If you want a good action film, that's certainly one to check out. Okay, we're going to do some lines here. Okay, object, blend. How many lines we got here? Just gonna do a lot. I don't think anyone is going to fact check this matchbook. Let's say that's 15. Is that too much? No, that looks just fine. Okay, object, expand, or object, blend, expand. And now we can knock these down. I'm really hoping my dog chewing on his foot is not making it onto the microphone. Oh, Polly, I'm so glad that I am able to soothe you. And Christina, thank you so much for joining. These are... You're gonna tell it. Okay, well, you might have a tough time tracking down a Billingsgate Fish Market and Oyster Bar matchbook, because I may have the only one in existence in St. Catharines. So these are all matchbooks that Dad gave me that he found in cleaning out the closet at home. And they are very cool. And I want to do a poster of a bunch of them, so I'm just going to do a couple tonight. Okay, fill, expand, fill and stroke, and then flip it around. So, what I did there... Wait. I don't want to do that yet. These corners... Okay, I want all the corners to be rounded. Okay. Do 2 point. And then object, expand, fill and stroke. Okay, now I can invert that and I have nice outlines. Okay, so I'm gonna fill this whole thing with white because that's what we need to start with. Yeah, it was for those of you not watching the chat, Christina said we love a vintage fire hazard. Yeah, Mom said to me, you know, you gotta be careful where you put these things. I said, yeah, because the safest place is a paper shoebox inside of a cedar closet. I'm sure that was very well. I don't know what there was no fire hazard there, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, this is. Now that I have all the outlines, I can do object, live paint, make, and start filling in the blue and red. Okay. So, and because I already filled in everything as white, I only need to fill in the red now. And everywhere else should stay white. Oh no, that's... Oh, okay. I need an extra line here. Dun. Okay. Why is that not working? Oh, I wasn't. Wait, am I not in the live paint? There we go, now I'm in the live paint. Okay. Okay, that's red. And then this is red. And then I need a blue. Dun, dun. Okay, that's part of the pillar, so this is blue. So all of these lines are outlined white. So that's why I had the strokes, but I wanted the, yeah. Essentially when I'm done here, I don't want any strokes around any of my graphics. So before I did the live paint, I with all the strokes, put them to the width that I wanted, then expanded them to make them into vectors rather like actual like objects rather than strokes. And then that way I can fill them in with whatever color I want, and then now I can turn off the strokes and I have our little fish market logo. And then when this is behind it, oh, it didn't fill in the white. Oh, okay. Okay. Just gotta fill in some white in a couple spots. That's alright. No. White. There we go. Okay. Over here. There. And there is our Billingsgate Fish Market restaurant initial illustration. So now we need to write Billingsgate on a curve. I'm glad you're enjoying this, Christina. Billingsgate. Okay. And earlier we determined that this is more than likely Garamond. Okay, so we will do that. We want to write on a curve. So first we will make our curve. Okay. Here's our curve. Make it a little bit, because we don't want it to be right on the white. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on here? There we go. Okay. And then type on a path. Type on there. Need it in capitals. Billingsgate. Okay, and then I gotta set it up so that the left starts at the left and the right is on the right, and it is centered. And then just increase the font size until we get close to the size we want. Okay. We'll add space between the letters, because this should go all the way across. 17 point seems pretty good. Yeah. Come on, let's go. Okay, select the text. Now we do it. Okay. Billingsgate. Okay, do that in white and expand it. Okay. And fish. Market. So these will be in white. And, for now we will just do it over here. So I can actually see it. Okay. What happens if I add a stroke to this? Will it look closer? I kind of want to mimic that. Yeah. I think that looks... I might need... I might redo that Billingsgate, but... Oyster bar. Okay. Come on. Restaurant. Same as these. Look at that. It's looking like a thing. Okay. Oyster bar, fish market. We are going to essentially put this where I think it should go. And then expand it so that they are vectors rather than live text. Okay, and now we will add a stroke around them so that the background doesn't bleed into the words. We'll make a copy of this actually. Expand that as well. Paste that on top with no stroke. There we go. Fish market, oyster bar. And you can read it. Okay. And group those just so it's easier to move them around. Yeah, the fish are going to be interesting. Just a guess, it looked... Garamond is a pretty... it probably isn't exactly Garamond, but it's close enough. I knew it was a serif font. That's a relatively popular one. Okay, so let's draw these fish. These kissing fish. We're just going to draw it right beside it. And we will do it in pink, just so you can see it. Kind of comes down. Up. There. And back up to there. Some of these curves a little bit. So it's not easy to see. Let me throw a box around there. Okay. This a little further back. Okay, and then we got curve here. This is sort of connected. I'm gonna bring this nose out a little bit. Going back to what you asked about earlier, Christina, if I wanted to know, like, relatively definitively what font it was, there's a website called What the Font, and you can feed in any image, and it will give you, and it'll, like, look at it and ask, you know, what letter is this? What letter is this? And then if you go through, the more letters you have, the easier it is. But it will then spit out what it thinks its best guess for what font it is. And more often than not, it is correct. Okay. Got our little lips here. Sure this eye. We'll look at it close up enough. Yeah, it's got kind of the eyes down here. Okay. Now we just gotta start making some scales. I'm just gonna freehand these. Maybe not. The pencil tool is great, but if you put the lines too close together, they try and connect. I don't want that. So another movie I watched recently, Johnny and I watched it together, was Buckaroo Banzai in the 8th Dimension or something like that. There's a subtitle. It's got Peter Weller in it. You might know him from RoboCop. And it is an extremely strange movie, but it was really a lot of fun. It was a very enjoyable movie. It basically just throws you right in to the movie. It just assumes that you know who the characters are and what their motivations are and why they're there. And, like, so there's, like, no backstory, really. You just pick it up as you go along, which, for the first, you know, half hour you're watching it, nothing makes any sense, and then you slowly start piecing it together. But yeah, Peter Weller is Buckaroo Banzai. And then Jeff Goldblum is in it as a surgeon who, for whatever reason, just wears a cowboy outfit at all times. Christopher Lloyd is in it, and he plays an alien. John Lithgow is in it, and he's the big bad guy. And he's hilarious because he's just doing this, like, over-the-top Italian accent through the entire movie. Yeah, it's it did not do very well. It's a one of my favorite things in movies is when they tease a sequel at the end, and then that sequel never comes out. I feel like every Guy Ritchie movie has that at the end, and you know, sometime or at least Rock and Rolla does, and I believe what was the Man from U.N.C.L.E. did. And yeah, it's just it teases another Buckaroo Banzai movie at the end of it. Like he will return in whatever. He did not return. Although in reading up on it, stop! Someone's crying. I don't know what you mean by that, Johnny. But yeah, the end of the movie, the credit sequence is like a music video, and it's just Buckaroo Banzai walking. Yeah, they did it at the end of Mario Brothers 2. Yeah, we watched the Super Mario Brothers movie as well, Johnny and I. Yeah, the end of Buckaroo Banzai is like a movie or a music video where he's walking and then like all the characters start walking with him, but it's like to music, and it's like a 5-minute montage of them just walking in. It's in LA. It's in a lot of movies. The place it's like a sewer, but like the storm drains or whatever. It was where the truck flipped over in Terminator. It was where the They Might Be Giants Statue Got Me High concert or music video was filmed as well, but I feel like that has less of a frame of reference for people. But yeah, Rock and Rolla teases it, and Man from U.N.C.L.E. teases it, and as did Buckaroo Banzai, and it's like, yeah, no, those movies are never gonna come out. Fish is turning out all right. It's not an identical match, but it's going to be so. And yes, match 100% was a pun in retrospect, but in the moment it was not. It's going to be so small that, you know, you'll get the idea. It looks like a fish, I would say. That's all you can hope for. So I gave my son a haircut yesterday because his hair was getting really long. It turned out okay. I am not a barber by any means, but his hair is shorter and looks half decent. Oh, okay. Well, I hope Polly's okay. Or I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like half looking at the chat, half working on this. Okay. So the nice thing about this design is it's 2 fish, but this head does not look good. Yeah, bring that in. So another movie that I have plans to watch is Missing in Action, which is another Chuck Norris movie, also by Canon. And I was reading up on it, and I guess before Rambo was made, the script for Rambo was kind of like First Blood, so the first Rambo movie, was floating around Hollywood for a while. And this Missing in Action is like a ripoff of it. So I I can't remember whether they had started making First Blood and they just like were first to market with it or whatever, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing a Chuck Norris Rambo. There we go. That's pretty. That's alright. Not the best thing I've ever drawn, but again, it's going to be quite small. So we will take all of this. What is this? Got a square here for some reason. Okay. Okay. Bring this guy up here. Want it to be red. And then shrink it down. Want it to be, yeah, I don't want any points. I want everything to be nice and soft curves. Okay. Group that. Copy it. Paste it. Expand it. And join all of it. And then fill that with white. Go in here and fill it in with white as well. Select both of these, join them. Now we've got just a solid outline of the fish. We'll add a stroke around it in white. It was white. Object, expand, fill and stroke. Join those again, and now we have a nice outline around the red fish. This red fish we are going to expand as well. Join all those, okay. Okay, paste it in place, reflect it vertically. And we want these guys kissing. And there are our fish. Join those as well. Okay, and then we will... What's the size? Yeah, that's about that size on there. And we will mimic the pour registration by moving this down a little bit. Okay. Missing my blue. There we go. Okay. Object. No. Type. Create outlines. Object, expand, fill and stroke, joins. Okay. So So the reason I'm doing all of these expands and things is because like I'm working at a much bigger size here. And with strokes at this size, it would look fine, but then when I shrink it down, the strokes don't shrink with it. Like it's not like a ratio. It's just this stroke is 1 point or whatever. So I want to make sure that at this size, everything is how I want it to look, so that when I shrink it down, nothing is going to change. Probably going to expand the live paint as well. And then group it, go inside of the group, ungroup everything, and then select the same fill colors, and then join all of those. That way I just have nice shapes. So now if I, for whatever reason, wanted to change all of the red to aqua, I can do that with one thing rather than having to go in and redo the live paint. Okay, just noticing that this should be coming right up to here. Oh. Of course, now this is after I've done the thing that will make this easy to do. Okay. Bring this back up. Okay. Now we can start the live paint over here. So all of this text we are going to expand and outline it so that when we select all of this and do a live paint, I can fill them in. So live paint make. Okay. And we want to use the same blue we did over here. Let's change the stroke color and the stroke weight just so that it's easier to see what's going on here. Striking. I love these chill beats. Thank you, Christina. Okay, we'll do the top a little bit darker. Just, I don't like having any outlines for anything on my illustrations, so try and do color blocks as much as I can. The inside of the matchbook is going to be a light gray. Don't know whether I want to do a gradient. I might do a gradient, but for now we'll just do light gray. And then you know what, I gotta add in all of these matches have a second line. The cardboard is a little bit darker. Just pencil that in. Okay. And all of these matches are the light blue match head, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna alternate just slightly different shades of blue so that they don't, so you can tell the difference between them. And then we want to get the gray way for the background, darken it just a little bit. That will be alternating matches. Actually, that over there should be the matchbook back color. Okay. Why didn't my lines go into the live paint? Was I not in the live paint? No, I was just in the group. Okay. Select those. Now I'm in the live paint and I can put them in. Okay. And then go a little bit darker. There. But I'll use that gray. These guys. You know what? It's more of a. It's like a beigey gray. So we're gonna add a little bit of orange into this. Yeah, that's a little nicer. Okay. Darken that. Darken these. Okay, go a little darker. We can do these. A little darker again. Do that. And finally the darkest for here. And the staple is gray. Do light gray. Fill in our text. It's difficult on a white background, so we'll throw an image or a color behind it first. Yeah, St. Catherine, basically all of Southern Ontario used to be 416. I was in grade 1, might have been SK, I think it was grade 1, when they were doing the switch over, and we all the kids got rulers that were holographic, and the picture on like the, you know, the thing where like you move it and it goes from one picture to another. So the first picture was of a fishbowl with a bunch of fish in it, and they were all sad and really cramped, and it just said 416 on it. And then when you moved it, it would show two fish bowls, one 416, one 905. And what's going on here? What is happening? What is this line here? Why is there a line here? No? I don't know. Yeah, but it was just showing how great things would be when we're in 905. So like I have a Brock poster that has Brock's phone number with 416 on it. So that would have been grade 1, so I would have been 6. It would have been 92. That's when they did the changeover. Now I'm an old man. Also, I don't understand when they have area codes and within the area code you call and it is long distance. Like, isn't the point of an area code that when you call within it, anyone within the area code is local? It's strange to me. Although I guess like a lot of the GTA is 905 as well, other than like Toronto proper. So it wouldn't really make sense. Okay, that's all there. So we can turn off the stroke. There. I can bring this over here. Oop. Group all this. Can I shear this? Let's find out. I can. Wow. Okay. And this basically goes right up to the top. And that, I think, is our first matchbook. Pretty sweet. I'm quite happy with that. All right. So it's already 10. Kind of want to do a GIF. So for now, we'll just keep it with, we'll just do one matchbook today. Spend the next little bit working on a GIF. There we go. There's a nice vector illustration of a matchbook. For a restaurant that doesn't exist. What is this line here? What is happening here? It just comes and goes. Alright, it doesn't matter. Okay. Beautiful. Save this. Dun-dun. Joe Design. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the bravo. Alright, so let's just I'm gonna do a wiggly letter GIF. I like doing those. So it's just gonna be white, or it's gonna be white text. So we'll just put a color background down so that we can see what we are doing. I want to do the word nice. So that is what we will do. I say we as in me, because I'm the only one here. Okay. These to be real chunky. Did I do a nice already? Yeah, I did. I want to do neat is what I want to do, not nice. I've already done nice. Neat. Oh, neat. So we'll just fiddle around until we have some letters we like. Something kind of funky looking. Nothing too exact. And we use the letters to neat. Okay. And T. And you know what? I think I'm going to do a period as well. I'll do a period and an underline. Because why not? Okay. Shrink those a little bit. Do. So yeah, normally I am a little more involved and actually do illustrations and stuff for my GIFs, but I like having these text ones as well. Did a bunch of like roundel ones for support your local businesses, artists, and support each other, which I liked. And Illustrator makes it very easy to do squiggle animations, or at least multiple squiggly line versions of things. You can do them very quickly. So that is what we will do. Just want to get these to a design that I like. That curve at the bottom. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Neat. And then we will have a period. This curve doesn't move nicely. With Illustrator, like when you have a curve, especially when you have a thick stroke on it like this, it just compounds any sort of ugliness in the curve. I want the interior of the end to have a nice curved line to it. Right now it's not there. That's a little better. Okay. I know I said I was gonna put a underline, but I don't think it needs it. Okay. So this is our default. We are going to make a few copies of this and squiggle them. Okay. So if you select a stroke and go into Effect, Distort, and Roughen, obviously that is not how I want it to look, but we can smooth them. You can't see, I really wish I could set it up to see the menus that I see. So we want how many squiggles per inch? Let's say 10. No, we'll do 5 squiggles per inch. The range of the squiggles, we want 15 pixels. You know, we're gonna reduce 3 per inch at 15 pixels. So there's one. We'll do the same thing, but then apply it again. And then do the same thing and apply it again, and then apply it again. And then do the same thing, apply it again, and again, and again, and again. Now I have 4 completely different squiggles of the word neat. So I'm going to export all of these as numbered So basically each of these is going to be a frame. In my actual animation. Bear with me a moment here as I save them all, and then we will go into Photoshop and actually make the animation. Might do a drop down or something in there too, but we will see. So we are going to switch over to a Photoshop. So let me open up Neat. Okay, so there is our Neat. And we're going to drag, so, sorry, in Photoshop, we want to turn on the timeline, we want to create a video timeline, and we want to do it by frame. For these, I usually do 0.1 second per frame. I find that that gives, it's not too fast, but it does give the motion, like it seems like motion rather than kind of jumpy. I did that jukebox, or not jukebox, the GIF of the boombox today. And I did 0.2 seconds as an experiment, and it's really choppy, and I'm not as happy with it as I was happy with it at the time, but then in looking at it now, I wish I had done it different. I might delete it and re-upload it, but whatever. I also probably shouldn't dwell in the past about a GIF that is just of a boombox, but that's my life. Okay, neat. Okay, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna bring the layer palette over here so that you can see it. Can you see it? No, you can't. What if I put it in the... Now you can see it. So basically in the timeline down here, right now I have one frame that is only showing layer 1. If I create a new frame, I can turn off layer 1 and turn on layer 2 in that. And now the first frame will only have 1, and then the second will have only the second. And then I basically just go through and turn them on. And now we have some squiggles. And then I can, you know what, I'm gonna add a drop shadow to all of these. Go to okay, add a drop shadow. I want it to be solid, so you again can't see the menu. But yeah, if you for drop shadow, you have your distance, spread, and size. My distance, I did 9 pixels. Spread, I did 100% because I don't want any like feathering on this. The opacity, I want 100% because I want it to be a solid color. And the size, we'll do 5 pixels. We'll set it to 45 degrees. We'll reduce that actually to 3 pixels. And the background color, we will do just a gray. Okay. Copy that layer style, paste it on all of the others. The nice thing about working in the timeline is even though all of the other layers are not shown on this frame, if you're on the first frame and you make any edits to the layers on the first frame, it will propagate it through to the rest of them. So now, is that too much squiggle? I think that the third one is too squiggly. So we're gonna take out the third frame. This is just gonna be a 3 frame animation. Delete the frame. Neat. There we go. Okay, so we'll go back to the first frame. I want to center this in the window. Is that centered? Yeah, I guess it is. Never mind. 1, 2, 4. Okay. Then we'll go back into the first frame here and just, this will be my Instagram post tomorrow. Put a background behind it. And there we go. There is our wiggly neat. I like it. It's pretty neat. Should I have one frame with no wiggle? No. Maybe. Maybe. Let's try that. Let's add a frame of the unsquiggled. Add that in. See how that looks. Dun, dun, dun. Go back to frame 1. Pull in all the way. Right. Neat. Turn that off. Make a new frame. Turn it on. I don't know if I like that. It's almost like grotesque when it goes from clean to the wiggle. But, okay. Well, now we know. Yeah. Delete that. Neat. Let's do a nice halftone. Let me show you how I make halftones in Photoshop, because it is something that I found on the internet years ago, and I use it very frequently. So basically, I have a new blank image, and I want a halftone gradient. That's what I want to get. So I will select just a linear gradient for basics, just black and white, because that's all we want. And we'll go from black to white. So then if you go into image mode, grayscale, and then go to image mode, bitmap, this is really where I wish you could see. Give me 1 second. Can I turn on? No, it won't show the... Let me just share my whole screen rather than just Photoshop. Can I do that? Doesn't look like I can. I'll set that up for next time. Anyways, in Photoshop, when you go to select a bitmap, you can select a halftone screen, and that will take a gradient, and really anything, and interpret the changes from black to white as halftone. So that's a little too extreme. That was 5 dots per inch, but you can change the number of dots per inch. There we go. We got a nice actual halftone pattern from black to white. So once that is done, you go back, change back to grayscale. And what I do is I go into the channels here and make a copy of the channel and invert it. Go back into layers, create a new layer. Now I can delete this background because I don't want that. And then I can go into select, load selection, and select the copy of the gray channel that I made. And this gives me the selection, like it selects that thing, so like it's perfect. And then from there I can fill it with black, and now I have that halftone as a transparent image that I can copy and paste in here. And set the opacity to 30. Yeah. Do I want blue? I'm gonna check my... I know no one does this, but I try to have the images on my Instagram not all be the same color if they're right beside each other. And the last one I did was a blue, so I should do a different color. So I did, let's do an orange. An orange would look nice, I think. I'm glad I could help put Polly to sleep. Makes me feel very good. Okay. There. And then this halftone, rather than being black, because I don't like that, we'll do a color overlay on. Ooh, I like that. Pink to orange. Nice. And there's our neat. I think I did the squiggle too much. Give me 1 second. Let's go back into Illustrator. Let's go back into Illustrator and redo these with less squiggle. Just do 3 frames. Okay. Effect, roughen. Smooth. Yeah, we'll do more squiggles per inch, but have them be less pronounced. Yeah. It's not working nicely. Maybe... Oh, you know what? I bet you I know how I can make this look better. Okay. We are going to take a copy of the nice one, and rather than treating these as... So right now these are just very thick strokes. We are going to change these to images. The thing I've been doing this entire night. Or change them to vectors. And then we will add roughen to that. Okay, I think that will work. Gotta change the parameters a little bit. Whoa. Okay, that might actually be pretty cool. Okay, we'll do 3 per inch. And size is 10 pixels. There. Okay. It's getting kind of, yeah. I think the problem I'm running into is I'm duplicating the effect, so it's roughening and then roughening again. I think I just need to change parameters for each one so that they're all different, but they're not like magnifying the weirdness, if that makes any sense. Okay. think those will be nicer. Okay, so I gotta export these again. Please bear with me. I beg of you. One. Yeah, no, this looks better. Two. I'm really enjoying making my own stickers and GIFs for Instagram. I honestly don't care if anyone ever uses them. They are fun for me, and I use them, and I think they're fun. Something to do, you know? Okay. Delete all those. Okay. Let's bring in our new ones. Oh, I gotta go back into Photoshop. There we go. Sorry, forgot to switch windows there. Okay, 3 and 4. Okay, now add our drop shadow. Hopefully this will be already, yep, that's the style I created last. Paste layer style. Perfect. Okay, now let's see how this looks. Yeah, I like it. And there's our neat. And I think we're gonna call it a night. It's 10:30. Been streaming for an hour and a half, a little bit longer. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Gee, and I hope Polly's sleeping well. Johnny and Aaron, if you're still here, thanks for joining. And we'll see you on the next stream. Have a great night. Bye.